Welcome back. Second semifinal today. Loyola, the #3 seed, they knocked off Manhattan to advance to the semifinals. Meanwhile, Canisius, 18 up, 10 down overall. They beat Fairfield by 5 yesterday. Marist has already won, and they will play the winner of this game in tomorrow's championship game here at the Pepsi Arena at noontime. Today's coaching matchup brought to you by Anaconda Sports and The Rock. Off to the left, Joe Logan, former student at Loyola in his first year, and Terry Zay, who led his team to the 18 wins this year for the Golden Griffs of Canisius. The Rock, the official basketball of the MAAC. Our starting lineups are brought to you by I Love New York. What a great vacation. ILoveNY.com. There you see Troop, Valderez, Harrington, Glessner, and Dunn. For Loyola, Light, Steve, Zach, Cabo, and Lamparski for the Golden Griffs. Ready to go from here at the Pepsi Arena, underway in our second semifinal of the day. Harrington runs it at the point for the Hounds. Joined to the backcourt with Brittany Dunn, Glessner, Troop, along with Ruffin. And a jump ball right off the start, only 15 seconds in, and on the ultimate possession, the Griffs get it.
And Loyola team had its starters, 5 starters played 30-plus minutes yesterday. So you wonder in back-to-back ball games if those 5 starters are going to get a good break or if they have the legs to take them all the way to the distance.
There's Light, missing it wide. And Zach draws the clip on the elbow, and he'll shoot 2. Time to take a look at our keys to the game. They are brought to you by Verizon.
Well, Loyola needs to defend the 3, and they must score on the perimeter. Canisius wants to run. They didn't run yesterday. They need to rebound today, and Zach is the key there. Can she set the tempo?
Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. So Becky Zach never stops working for Canisius, her 90th consecutive start today. And when she's the starting point guard, they win 65% of their ball games.
And when she comes with energy, I didn't think that she played with energy yesterday. And it might have been that, you know, you wait all week to play the game, Dean, and you come in and you're exhausted. But today, in the very first possession, she's driving to the basket. She's talking. You can see her activity level.
Tap to the corner. Jessica Steves comes up with it. 2-0. Canisius leads on the strength of a couple free throws from Becky Zach. Cabo shifted the feet, and the turnover gives it back to the Greyhounds.
And what a find Cabo has been for Canisius. Done a great job.
Time now to take a look at the series history brought to you by Pontiac. And you see that Canisius leads it overall 20-19. They split the season series as Loyola won a tight one up there at Canisius.
Loyola split with every team above them this year and swept Iona. So this team is capable of beating the big guns, and they've proved it as the season's gone on.
Zach used the screen by Light. Lamparski, a good assist maker as well. She trails Zach by just a few. Step out by Light, who really got her body down and her body fat. Picked up a personal trainer in the offseason, and she's even a better player than she was, and it's 4-0 Canisius.
And you know Zach's involved right now. When the first 2 shots of the game come from your point guard on drives, you know that Coach Zay spoke with her last night and said, hey, we need you out there. We can't have another close ball game the way that we had in Fairfield. We have to take control.
And the MAAC 6th player of the year scores the first 2 of the ball game for the Gales. I should say for the Greyhounds, Jackie Valderez. Clear there by Glessner. Loyola went 19-9 this year. The quick stop and the pop and the drop there by Brittany Dunn.
Loyola's guards have really improved as the season's gone on. They've made the difference. They've always had good, strong inside presence. Now they have exceptional perimeter presence.
Runner inside by Lamparski draws the 2-shot foul. And they are challenging the interior defense.
It's a shootout. They're not taking any time. They're going to the basket. And Coach Zay is a real proponent of going to your strengths.
Outstanding numbers.
His strengths are going to the basket.
Outstanding numbers for him. 28-8 in the regular season. A winning mark of 78%. Former assistant men's coach moving over to the women ranks. Lamparski made the first, misses on the second one. Harrington, one of the seniors on this year's Greyhound squad, throws it away. Glessner guarding tightly on Lamparski for Light. High archer, and it's tapped in a breakaway for Glessner, but she can't get to the sideline to get it. Loyola's head coach is Joe Logan in his first year, 19-9, and just a wonderful story. He used to be a student there and was actually the manager for the men's and women's program at the same time.
He has great love for basketball, and he's done a really nice job with his program. First time they've had a winning season in the last 3 years, so it's been a good turnaround for him and his program.
We got Megan Light on the offensive foul. The Loyola basketball.
And Megan has to settle down a little bit. She's taken a couple of wild shots. She has a tendency to bring that energy to the next level. She has to calm down a little bit.
Harrington in the backcourt this year, along with Brittany Dunn. Done a nice tandem for Joe Logan's squad. Valderas working the inside-outside game. Shot clock's at 13 seconds. Glessner put it to the floor. Good double team by Canisius. And Light was surprised by the rebound.
And Canisius would be happy if Loyola took those shots all afternoon and didn't get the ball inside to a Troop.
Steve's in traffic. And Troop was on the floor. And she tied her up.
So Stevens angry at herself because she knew she shouldn't put the ball down.
Inbound here as you see the arrow for the Greyhounds. Greyhounds this year in the MAAC went 13-5. They actually tied for third with Iona, but got the higher seed because they won the tiebreaker. Fresh into the ball game for Canisius is Katie Thorner. And we also should mention Canisius missing one of their better outside shooters. And Sherry Whitleib, she's out with a concussion problem, and she's going to sit out the rest of the year. And she's basically done there now because she was a senior.
Well, she's a great three-point shooter, and she had a career record three-point shooting last year as a junior.
And she had 26 points in one of the meetings earlier this year. Lamparski tried to aim it down low. Overplay there by Dunn, forces the turnover. Dunn leads them in steals with 58 as we started today. Glessner on the trail, 5-4 early, Canisius. Troop, she worked hard on a block against the new player in Laura Granzo, and the foul goes against Granzo. When we come back, we'll have a couple free throw tosses coming your way. Canisius by 1 in Albany. Welcome back to the Pepsi Arena, second semifinal today. Canisius by the digit 5-4. The lady on your screen, Sherry Whitleib, sitting out the rest of the season. Earlier, she was gathered with her team trying to cheer them on in the huddle, and she is out with some concussion problems.
Well, you know, she gave this team such a presence as a senior. She averaged 20 minutes a ball game, so Coach Zay has to find and distribute either 20 minutes among his starters or find somebody else from the bench. She's going to be missed in this run to the championship.
She had 26 points in one of the meetings, and the most active MAAC player with over 200 three-pointers, 209 in her career, and made the team as a walk-on and then eventually earned a scholarship.
It's a big loss to the program.
Canisius basketball. Radunsky in there, wearing number 11, traveled. She's had some injury problems this year. And again, it will be Greyhound basketball down by 1. Had a good start to this one, and then both teams now turning the ball over. Fifth turnover assessed on Canisius. Cutter inside is Glessner, and the block by Granzo. She just made her 31st of the year.
Well, yesterday's game against Canisius, you see this, the turnovers, not great shooting going on. But Canisius worked very hard against Fairfield in their 5-point win yesterday. They survived and advanced, and Coach Zay was the first to tell you that they were just glad to be done with that game because Fairfield had a legitimate chance of moving on with the way that they played.
60-55, the final on that one. Radunsky just scored for Canisius, and a clear again by Granzo, who's a tall presence at 6'3" under that glass. Another turnover now on Canisius. Quick 6 here in the first 5:32 of the ball game.
You see Lamparski trying to go in to the post here, and Radunsky just taking it up and again, with a good, strong left hand hook, puts it in. And what you see them trying to do is they're going into the paint, and they are getting this ball down quickly, and that's part of the reason we see as many turnovers. They want to set pace here, Dean.
And Loyola's won their last 5 in a row, 4 in the regular season, and then the win yesterday in the quarters against Manhattan, 66-57.
Well, they're one of the hotter teams coming into the tournament. They're on fire, and again, they're getting good play from Shirley, who's a substitute, who was the MAAC Rookie of the Year, her freshman year, and was out for a full year last year, the year before last, with the knee injury. So she's just coming back to the form that we saw for years when she was healthy.
Step out there by Valderez for Glessner, and then Harrington touches up. Harrington out of Silver Spring, Maryland. This is a team that went 10-18 last year, improving this year to 19 wins as we speak. Canisius pushing it up a little bit. And another overplay by Dunn. She's already had a couple thefts in this one. Glessner running the floor from the left to the right. And Radunsky has another rebound.
Neither team shooting the ball very well, and lots of mistakes happening now. Cavo picks up her second turnover in just as many possessions.
Now, Amanda Cavo is really playing in her first tournament game of her career. She's just a freshman, had a wonderful year, the MAAC Rookie of the Year.
Dunn, what a nice job Dunn does reading a passing lane, takes away the skip pass, steps in and takes it, fires it down, coming back on the other end.
That's the difference. You got a player like Dunn who's a junior, and Cavo who's trying to throw the home run ball, just a freshman.
And Cavo yesterday was just unstoppable. 21 points, a perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line, 5 for 10 from three-point land. What a game she had against Fairfield.
And she has been on fire of late. Hasn't taken a long one yet. And another throwaway. Canisius getting up near 10 turnovers here in the first few minutes of this one. That's 9.
9 turnovers and still within 3 points of the ball game. So, and are up by 3.
Well, here's the problem. They turn it over each time down, but Loyola can't make one go home.
They're 2 for 13 to start the game.
Turnover numbers. Canisius with the 9, Loyola with a couple. Both teams only making 2 field goal attempts, but Loyola's taken 8 more shots than Canisius. And that one goes down by Valderez, a 2-pointer.
And you would think with them, both teams having played yesterday, that the jitters would be gone. But it seems as if both teams are recognizing, maybe having seen a little bit of the Marist-Iona game, of what's to come.
And Radunsky is held there at the free throw line. I'm a little bit surprised because this is a veteran squad for Canisius. I mean, this is a team that won the MAAC championship a year ago, went to the NCAA, but they do seem jittery.
Well, you see the turnovers here. Zach just not reading the passing lane very well. Radunsky not holding her position. And those are the kinds of turnovers that veterans teams do not make, Dean. But I do think that getting back to the final game is harder than getting there the first time.
Canisius won a thriller in the MAAC championship last year by 1 against Marist, and Troop is called for clamping down on Light. And we've had quite a few fouls already here in this one. That's 4 now on Loyola, and 3 called against Canisius.
And neither team shooting better than 30%. So with turnovers, poor shooting, and just flat-out mistakes, we haven't seen very good basketball in the last 8 minutes.
First couple of minutes we saw something, but not of late. Light looking high-low. Stepping out there is Thorner. And a tie-up. Troop and Light. Arrow gives it right back to the Griffs.
And Thorner coming in. Cavo and Lamparski will share duties at the point while Zach sits down for a minute.
You and I saw Terry Zay at our hotel this morning. He looked like a guy that's just in for a tour of the town. Sitting there, having a coffee, reading a paper. He looked very composed. Katie Shirley was given good minutes to Loyola, and that's a nice story. Off-season knee surgery, wearing number 24, leading rebounder and scorer the last 2 years. But now it's been designated basically as a role player.
Yes, he comes in as the 6th player and really gives the team a lift.
Down to 10 on the shot clock. There's Shirley to square over Steves. And Loyola's taken a 1-digit lead at 8-7. Here's Cavo. She made a bunch of those this year, and her first 3 to go down. In fact, Cavo made 58 of those coming into the ball game.
Well, she's taken all of the big shots for this Canisius squad. Now, remember, she's a freshman, and she just steps up. You see one end, shot maker, inside. Shirley with just a few seconds, clicks on the clock. You see it at 4. Turnaround jumper makes it good. Cavo steps out, takes the 3. We saw her again yesterday, 5 for 10. So she's picking up where she left off.
Cavo from the nearby area, New Hartford, New York. Her brothers both played at Siena. Bill and Andy. She decided to go to Canisius. You were telling me a nice story that she actually went to the basketball camp here for Siena, but elected eventually to go up the Buffalo area.
Well, maybe she one of those players that like to carve a new niche for herself in a different place, but certainly was a Siena fan. She's watched a lot of basketball. She's watched a lot of conference basketball.
10-8. Golden Griffs lead it on the strength of the Cavo 3. And just packs in on that zone.
And they're going to challenge Loyola's ability to shoot the outside shot. Chip's been quiet.
Well, that time she wakes up a little bit for the runner inside. Leading score, 11.7 a game.
Well, she's tough in that short corner against the zone. She can make that 10-footer that the zone gives away.
And Steves got out of kilter that time on the overplay by Shirley. Well, we've only got 20 points up on the board. They're equally divided. 10:55 left in the first half. Welcome back to our state capital, Albany, New York. Pepsi Arena is where we originate from. And it's currently a 10-10 ball game. Now time for the Broadway marketing mind-bending trivia question. What coach has won the most MAAC women's title? We'll give you that in just a little bit. We'll give you a little hint. That man is since retired. And I gave you actually 2 hints because I just said male. Broadway marketing, mind-bending, Brandon Solutions. And a jumper there on the side by Katie Shirley. She's giving them a little bit of offense now coming off that bench. Hounds lead it by 2. Loyola shooting 31% from the field. Canisius at 33%. I believe last touch there by Shirley. Will be kept by the Griffs. Their MAAC tournament record, the Golden Griffs, 11 up and 15 down. They've had 3 straight wins in the MAAC tournament, including the 2 last year. They come in as the number 2 seed. They are actually the MAAC preseason favorite this year. Bears took a little exception to that and ended up winning the title going away. Off the mark there by Light. And a tie-up. Barsky always around that basketball. And the arrow will give it back again to the Hounds as she tied up Tynisha Davis. So Loyola now going with Davis out there, along with Troop, Shirley, Glessner, and also Brittany Dunn. Tynisha Davis, sophomore out of Brooklyn, New York, went to Christ the King High School, great basketball program there in the city region. And the foul called off the penetration by Brittany Dunn. Lambarski picks up the personal. That's her first. Well, the Canisius men went down to the final seconds and beat Loyola on a last-second runner by John Poposki. And they're here in attendance. They'll be back at 10 o'clock tonight to take on the 3rd-seeded Red Foxes of Marist College. That game ended probably around 11:30, midnight. But when you're on that adrenaline flow.
Oh, they didn't sleep at all last
night. There's no time for that.
They'll go back after this game, after they cheer their women on, and catch a snooze before they have to play again.
Yeah, Terry Zay was saying that he was very happy that the men came out yesterday in the quarterfinal win and supported the program. Jessica Steves using window on that one, and it's 14-12 Loyola.
Well, you know, they see each other just about every day in the gym. One team's leaving, the other one's stepping in, and they make fast friends.
The other team shooting very well from the field. Steal there by Lamparski.
And it's really been a game of mistakes in this first 11 minutes. Neither team playing a really good brand of basketball.
Here's Cabo setting up. Missed on her second triple of the game. Knocked out by Light, who's always hustling after that ball. And the Greyhounds get it once again. You mentioned the Hounds, a very hot team coming in, winning 11 of their last 13. And the only team to beat Marist over the last few weeks of the season. They beat them at home by 3.
Well, they don't do anything spectacular. They just do everything very well. They're not a great shooting team. They're not a great defensive team. But everything that they do is done within a system. The thing they do the best, though, and I think they do it better than most teams, they run an equal opportunity offense. Everybody touches the ball. Coach Logan has put them in a position where they can be successful.
Bring up a good point. Their top 5 scorers average between 9.2 points and 11.2 points. So everybody's getting a shot at it.
And they don't take bad shots. That's a real strength of a teaching coach, is when a team understands its ability to take a good shot.
Zach will be back to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Tynisha Davis is called on that personal foul. Zach can open up the game with a couple free throws.
You see her. She can go to the left. She's using a screen. Right there, a little stutter step. She's going to be fouled and then just tosses the ball up. Zach, a good foul shooter. But, you know, Zach hasn't exploded yet in this tournament. I'm waiting for that explosion. If she gets to the final game, you know she'll bring it. She started this game with energy. She didn't start yesterday's game with any at all.
But in yesterday's game, she wasn't scoring from the field, but she knocked down a bunch of free throws, rebounded well, and assisted well.
Absolutely. And Zach now with 6 points and 4 for 4 from the foul line. When the game was on the line and Fairfield had to foul, they foul Zach, and Zach makes good on them.
Under 9 left here in the opening half. Low-scoring game, 14-14. Clear there by Cabo. Another throwaway. And Glessner. And she got hacked. She leaned right in that time on Cabo's arm.
And Zach talking to Cabo about throwing the pass in the back court, not cross court. And Cabo will learn those kinds of things. You see it here. She makes a cross-court pass, and Glessner just steps in. Cabo really should have kept possession of the ball, taken it down. Zach then would have come to her and gotten the ball from her.
When Loyola's teammates were all asked about who's the hardest worker on the team, it was unanimous. Jill Glessner was the choice, a junior from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Broke a hand last year, missed 11 games, but came back and played well. She drains a couple.
Nice stroke at the foul line. She's relaxed. Well, you know, they've got good athletes on this Loyola team, and he's put them in a system where they can be successful.
As Joe Logan took over for Candy Cage, who didn't come back. Her contract expired. Logan has coached the men and the women during his time as a head coach. Shoot. Ball faked a little too much that time.
Like she felt the footsteps of Steve's.
It's been 3 minutes since the Hounds last scored a field goal.
Loyola doing a nice job defensively, defending the high-low.
And Zach firing and hitting, making her dad proud, who graduated from the same school back in 1975. In fact, her twin sister Lisa actually played for a year at Canisius. 17-16. Griffs had grabbed the lead once again. They split the regular season series.
Well, Loyola now setting the pace. They want to slow Canisius down, and it's to Loyola's advantage that they use the clock a little bit.
Glessner will go back to the free throw line. She gets hit once again.
Zach steps up, takes a 25-footer, and drains it. And when your point guard is shooting well and passing well, you can take yourself a game.
What are you looking for in a college? Cutting-edge academic programs, a faculty that's second to none, great recreational opportunities and residence halls? How about a college that will provide you with the education you need to become a leader in your profession and in your community? If that's what you're looking for in a college, you'll find it at Canisius. To learn more about Canisius College, call 1-800-843-1517 or visit us on the web at canisius.edu. Canisius College, where leaders are made.
Canisius leads by 1 in our second semifinal today over Loyola. Fidelis Care is proud to sponsor the Fidelis Care family section. Fidelis Care providing free or low-cost health insurance to all New Yorkers through the Child and Family Health Plus programs. Well, Kiki Clark there on the phone. His team will be playing against one of the host schools in this area, Siena, coming up at 5 o'clock on the MAAC television network. Part of the MAAC family, Kiki Clark, known as Keedron Clark, the 2006 MAAC Pepsi Player of the Year, just named yesterday. Had a good outing against Ryder last night when he scored over 20 points. And again, they take on the Siena Saints at 5 o'clock here on the MAAC television network. Look, Lesnar has really found her stroke at the free throw line. And once again, with 7.5 left, Loyola's re-grabbed the lead.
And Zach having to work against Dunn. Dunn has good feet defensively. Really pressures her with the basketball.
Radunsky. Corner was charging to the basket. Granzo double team and a walk.
Well, they're not giving. Loyola's not giving anything to Canisius in the paint. All of the post players that have played, Steves, Light, Radunsky, is just not getting it done.
Just earlier, we were talking about Kiki Clark and his team taking on Siena. That game in the bracket, that's a big one. Niagara and Iona, they always have wild games. In fact, they went to overtime earlier this year up in Lewiston. And then at 10 o'clock, Marist taking on Canisius, who beat Loyola on a last-second runner inside.
Troop's going to get called for a second personal foul by going over the back of Radunsky. That's a big foul. I think you're going to see Shirley get in for her right now. Troop takes a nice move at the basket. Probably thinks she's got a little hack there. Frustration, rebound going over. Second foul, she'll go to the bench.
So Troop gets that second foul. Lamparski out there on the floor setting up low as Zach brings it down. Looked like they were trying to run a play for Lamparski. Radunsky turning and shooting over top Valderas. Every shot has been challenged on both squads.
In the post it has. They're just playing just incredible defense in the post.
It counts and one as Valderas used the window.
And finally gets one of those to fall in inside. And Radunsky picks up a foul. But that's her first personal foul. You see it here. Nice position. Radunsky just doesn't get it done. Has to keep her hands up on it.
Valderas leads them in field goal percent at 54%. And she gets the roll. So a little bit of a spread now. The Greyhounds lead it 21-17 with 6:25 left here in the opening half.
They're just not getting any looks inside. And Loyola's playing good, solid post A.
Katie Thorner.
You know, we started the game. Canisius' game plan seemed to be pick up the pace, drive the ball to the basket, challenge them in. But right now, it's been all of the defense of the Greyhounds. Not a lot of looks on the inside, and Dunn just a little late getting over. If she'd gotten over 1 second sooner, she may have had herself a charge.
It was her first foul. She shoots over 70% from the free throw line. Terry Zay applauding his team. Won the MAAC championship in his first year last year. Came over from the men's program and will be kept at the near end.
And Thorner really getting time. Katie Thorner didn't see a whole lot of time before Whitley went down and has done a nice job in that substitute role.
Set play as they run it inside. And Granzo put it in. Laura Granzo, who transferred in from Denver out of Springfield, Missouri. In fact, she was named her high school senior year Miss Show Me State Player of the Year. Shirley with the fade, and Granzo got a piece.
And Granzo can run, and she gets down the court as quickly as any post player.
They let him play on as Radunsky got toppled over. Zach playing her 111th career game for Radunsky, drawing another foul.
And every time Canisius puts the ball down and goes to the basket, something good happens. They're either fouled or they end up with 2 points. And their game plan has been altered a little bit. You see it, Radunsky just going down, gets hit. Official doesn't call it, make sure that the second time that she's hit, she's going to the line.
And Radunsky a junior out of New Hamburg, Ontario, Canada. 4 Canadians on this roster of Canisius. In fact, that's tied for second in the nation. Utah actually has 5 players out of the Canada region, the #1 in that category in the nation. It's become a free throw shooting clinic for both teams. 22-21 Canisius.
Well, both teams over the limit and nearing the 10 foul mark. So if you can shoot foul shots, you'll hang around in this half.
And it fell for Valderez.
Little friendly bounce there. You know, Dunn picking Zach up early, making sure that she doesn't get the ball down quickly so she can kind of alter the tempo.
Valderez has 9 points. And a push call. Brittany Dunn just got her 2nd foul. Don't miss your chance to help the MAAC celebrate its 25th anniversary by voting for the best 25 athletes in the MAAC history on MAACsports.com, where you can always stay connected to the MAAC and your favorite players. Earlier today, Marist outlasted Iona 60-59. They advanced to the championship round. Noontime tomorrow here at the Pepsi Arena. And a rebound foul off the missed free throw attempt. And they'll take it down to the far end and shoot as Terry Zay takes a glance up at the clock.
And Canisius has committed its 8th foul of the half, and Loyola stands at 9. So when Canisius gets to the line, they'll be shooting 2. Loyola's still in a 1-on-1 situation.
So Katie Shirley, who got engaged in the offseason to go along with the knee surgery she had, has been relegated to coming off the bench and accepted that role. And that's good for Joe Logan because he comes in as a first-year head coach, and he's basically saying, yeah, I got to turn things around here. Loyola didn't have a good year last year, 10 up and 18 down. And with Shirley accepting her new role, that's really helped the team chemistry.
They've bought into the system, and the system has rewarded them in more wins than they've had in all 4 years for seniors. And a trip to the semis as a 3 seed.
Very scrappy play right now. Loyola's got a 2-on-2. Canisius did well getting back on the play. Shirley for the clear.
And Loyola will settle it down now and look for a good shot. And they find it in a cutting Glassner.
Well, that was a beautiful assist by Crystal Harrington at the point. She led him with 110 assists in the regular season. 26-22, the Hounds lead it. They defeated Manhattan yesterday, 66-57. Canisius really struggled against Fairfield. In fact, they trailed most of the game. They didn't take their first lead till there was about 3 minutes left in that one. Won it by 5. Step out, Radunsky. Glessner looks to go back outside.
Just exceptional ball movement. They go from side, top side, and find that player free in a position where they know she can shoot. Now this is the largest lead of the game. Loyola with 6.
And you won't find Loyola shooting the three-point shot very much. They are last in the MAAC at 27.7%. That cut and a steal on the anticipation.
Loyola's on a 7-0 run, soon to be 9.
Shirley, pretty move. Off the assist there by Brittany Dunn. And with 3:27 left in the half, it's an 8-point Hound lead. Zach finds Thorner. Radunsky given a little bit of room. Spinning and drawing the foul. Shirley on the foul, but Shirley came up big on the offensive end, got her team to reset, and it paid off. So the Hounds, with 3:12 remaining in the first half, lead it by 8.
I know most of you just graduated high school last year, or maybe you've been working for a while, seen some things, done some things, but nothing has prepared you for what's going to happen now. We're going to set goals for each of you, way up here, way up here, and then we're going to help you exceed them, believe it. And when finished, you're going to have not just a degree, you'll be a different person, a better person. Welcome to Iona.
Aspire, achieve. Iona. Call Iona College at 1-800-231-IONA.
Loyola enjoying its biggest lead of the ball game, 30-22. Earlier, we asked you on the Broadway marketing mind-bending trivia question, what coach has won the most MAAC titles? And the answer from St. Peter's, Mike Gradelli, who just retired a couple of years ago. 10 titles. Boy, they had some good teams. There's the St. Peter's men's team awaiting their 5 o'clock start against the Saints of Siena. They drilled Ryder last night. We'll have that for you right here on the MAAC Television Network. Broadway marketing, mind-bending, Granite Solutions. Kiki Clark and company against the Saints at 5. At 7:30, Iona and Niagara. Niagara beat Fairfield last night. And then at 10 o'clock, Marist and Canisius. Prior to that free throw attempt, both teams were 8 of 11 at the free throw line. Not a lot of points scored here, Seal. 7-point Loyola lead.
I think this pace and this rhythm really plays into Loyola's strength and not Canisius. But Canisius does well when it drives to the basket and has a tempo. And it's not Loyola's tempo that it wants to play.
Milking the shot clock again. Zach rips it away. Becky Zach, 90th consecutive start today, entered play today, 1,122 career points. She's got 9 to lead her team. Lemparski, much too short. I think Joe Logan likes this type of game.
Sure does. I think he likes that it's balanced scoring and they'll go into the post, but if they can't go into the post, they'll kick it back to the outside.
Lemparski poked Davis right in the midsection on the release. And it's 3 shots on a 3-point attempt.
Boy, you hate to have that happen. And that puts Canisius into the 10 foul situation. So now a good foul shooting team with 2 minutes left in the half gets to the foul line more often. And Harrington has a chance to put her team up by almost 10.
First time at the free throw line.
She just leaves her feet, Lemparski, puts her hands in, sort of implants her fingers right across Harrington's chest. And Harrington just about to take her 3rd foul shot with a chance to stretch the lead out to 10.
MAAC 3rd team member announced this week. And only a 50% free throw shooter. Doesn't show it there. A perfect 3 for 3. And now a 10-point lead for the Greyhounds. Quick answer by Canisius.
And Canisius really has to get itself going and take some quick shots. They're best when they're shooting quickly, and they're not a setup kind of team.
Cavo for Canisius with the 11 points. And Glessner on a step out.
And Loyola feels, you can feel the momentum shifting towards Loyola at the end of this first half. Everything seems to go their way.
That went wide. And Glessner in the open court. Really battle on the glass, and Shirley comes up with it.
And they're rebounding a little bit better. At the start of the game, it was all Canisius on the boards, and Loyola now is chipping away to close that gap a little bit.
And Megan Light has not been a factor. Usually she controls the glass for Canisius. Back cut there. Pass goes awry, intended for Harrington.
No, you're right, Dean. Megan has not been as strong as we'd expect her to be. Now, you see this nice little Glessner bucket that puts him up. And, they're taking shots 10 or 12 feet. They're getting good looks.
Glessner's had a nice game with the 10. Valderas and Glessner with 19 of their points. Again, pushing tempo. Harrington, the lead for Shirley. And she accepted that foul there from Radunsky.
And Radunsky has to be careful because that's a frustration foul that could have been called an intentional foul. And an intentional foul would have given the ball back, not just the 2 shots. Harrington forces it down. Shirley really running very well today. Radunsky really should have gotten called for an intentional on that. That was a dangerous foul there.
She didn't have one knee operated on in the offseason. She had both knees operated on.
Yeah, you don't want to put a player like that at risk again.
Katie Shirley, her numbers for the year. leading scorer and rebounder each of the previous 2 years. Last year she led them with 10.9 a game and was second team all conference.
And we mentioned earlier she was the MAAC Rookie of the Year as a freshman at Loyola. Loyola on a 15-3 run.
Megan Light steps out. They try to run their motion offense.
Nothing going well right now for Canisius.
Nope. And they give it back again, and Loyola will have it with the clock turned off with 28.9 remaining. And they will control, it appears, a double-digit lead.
And you know Coach Logan is going to use the entire clock in this last possession and could find itself up by as many as 14 if they would have hit a 3. And you see it. They're going to hold, take it down at about the 22nd mark. They'll cross the half court, and then they'll set up.
Glessner looking now for Valderez. And Glessner has been a good scorer for him. Shot the air ball. Decent amount of time for Canisius to get a last-second shot up. Lamparski lost the mail. Last touch by a Hound with 2.1 remaining here in the half. Have to run a set play.
Coach Day calling a timeout to make sure that they get a good shot off with a chance to cut into the lead and turn an 11-point lead down to a 9 with the basket under the hoop. So with 2.1, Loyola has got to play some good defense in this possession.
In 1994, Loyola College captured their first back-to-back MAAC women's basketball championships with 72-66 defeat of Fairfield at the Knickerbocker Arena. That's what this used to be called now, the Pepsi Arena, here in Albany. The Greyhounds were led by tournament MVP Patty Stoffi, who scored a tournament record 99 points in 3 games, including 2 36-point games. You remember that, don't you?
That's a lot of points to score in a ball game.
So Lamparski ready to inbound in the final couple seconds. Radunsky gets it up on the elbow, and that will do it. Hounds really control tempo over the last 8 minutes, and they take a lead of 11 to the locker room.
Look at this half. Valderez and Glessner, a total of 19. The rest of the team has 17. They're shooting collectively 7 for 14 from the floor. Everything going Loyola's way.
So the Hounds lead it by 11 here in the second semifinal of the day. Loyola 36, Canisius 25. Back with our halftime after this on the MAAC Television Network.
It's a college in the city, a college in the country.
It's big.
It's small.
It's modern.
Traditional. It's Frisbee on the quad. It's big-time basketball at the Garden.
It's the best of all worlds.
Manhattan College. A world-class faculty and student body on a beautiful, quiet campus, minutes from the center of everything.
So come be a part of it. Manhattan College.
The best of all worlds.
Just starting the second half, Canisius basketball. They find themselves down by 11 here at the Pepsi Arena. Semifinal action. Taking on the Greyhounds of Loyola, going into number 3 seed. They didn't get much in the post in that first half, but Steve's off the miss by Light.
Well, Light hasn't been able to find her range or rhythm. She's been so excited. She's overshot the basket when she's had a good look.
And Light has been their leading scorer, 12.9 a game. But as you mentioned, held in check in that first half. She only took 4 shots, missed the ball, did not score.
Canisius looking to cut the lead here. With 2 or 3, they can get right back in the ballgame.
Both teams combined to shoot only 35% from the field. Collectively, they were 19 of 54. Steve's just couldn't get turned around the corner.
And their game plan, obviously, is to get the ball inside. Look at this statistic. Loyola, when it leads at the half, is 16-1 overall. Canisius trailing at the half is 2-9. Numbers don't bode well for Canisius right now.
Arrington now looking for Valderez. Valderez and Glessner had very good first halves for Joe Logan and his group. And Glessner giving up for Valderez on the elbow jumper.
Lots of players benefit in his system, and if you've got the hot hand, the offense finds you the basketball.
Becky Zach, leading scorer in the first half for Canisius with the 11. Foul on the floor. Had a multitude of fouls in that first half, collectively 20, each team with 10. Game track update. Troop with just the 2 points. Cavo with the 3. And they need Cavo to knock down the 3 ball.
Well, she carried them last night, and I'd have to think, as a freshman, she's a little exhausted today. She played a lot of minutes, and it was a tough ball game for Canisius to put away Fairfield yesterday.
It was a spin by Light. She's 0 for 5 in the ball game. Second game in 2 days for both squads. Loyola advancing after beating Manhattan yesterday. Canisius beat Fairfield by 5. Tracked down there by Lamparski.
Canisius doesn't seem to be able to get its engine revving. They just seem a step slow everywhere.
And they've missed badly on a few inside shots, like that one by Lamparski. Dunn pushing it up, forcing the foul.
Now, we may see a little bit of a lull. Joe Logan had to use his players. His 5 starters played for 30 minutes each yesterday's game. Canisius, the starters really sat a good portion of the game because they didn't play very well.
He got good minutes from Shirley off the bench, and he quickly brings her in, and she responds with a foul and a basket.
She's a nice athlete and worked very, very hard getting herself back in shape. You take a look, Shirley posted, nice little pick and roll on this. Gets it in the inbounds play.
Steves was late on the switch out. Didn't get to the block where Valderas was occupying it. Should say Shirley, and Shirley misses on the free throw attempt. 13-point lead for the Hounds, biggest in the ball game.
Coach Day trying to find an answer in the paint.
19-5 run by the Hounds. Carried over from that first half. Cavo, her second triple here today.
She's got a sweet stroke. She just one crossover dribble and goes up straight.
This made her 60th of the year. 6 times she was named the MAAC Rookie of the Year and then awarded yesterday as the overall MAAC Rookie of the Year. .14 on the shot clock. Shirley posting against Granzo. She got her on the elbow.
Cavo's been the answer. As a freshman, she has stepped up in yesterday's game and seems to be doing the same thing. Nice little crossover dribble, 20 feet from the basket, nothing but net. She's keeping them in this ball game. Remember, she's just a freshman.
Granzo gives them inside presence, just got her 3rd foul. And Shirley back to the free throw line. Shirley on the year making 69% of her free throw attempts. You mentioned she was the MAAC Rookie of the Year back her freshman year.
This Loyola team is a good foul shooting team overall. They average about 72% from the foul line. And that's a good percentage for an entire team to walk away with.
Chris had a great year last year, won 21-10, won the MAAC championship. Ended up playing Duke in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. Blocked down on the floor. Called against the Hounds.
You see it. Randowski will take the ball strong with the right hand, and Glessner just steps in a second too late. Ends up on her tail.
For Glessner playing as hard as she has today, that's only her first foul.
Yeah, she plays tough the whole game. She just doesn't stop going.
Light out there with Zach, who comes out to meet the ball. Radunsky along with Cavo and Lamparski. Lamparski to the cup. They seem to be more aggressive here today, but a lot of their inside shots have just been off the mark.
They've been wild. You know, they've been shots that have either ended going to the foul line or it's just a toss-up. They don't seem to be looking to finish anything.
That time, Dunn got lost on the defensive assignment. Lamparski misses on the free throw attempt. 82% true at the free throw line this year. Sophomore, she had a good year. 5.8 a game. This year, 5.9. Which comes up empty.
It took a lot of energy for Canisius to fight back to win the Fairfield game. I'm not sure they'll have that kind of energy again playing a tough Loyola team.
Loyola team that has won 19 overall games compared to 10 last year.
And plays great with the lead.
Very patient team. Harrington cupped it in with the left hand. Back up to a 13-point lead for Loyola.
And their guards have so improved from the start of the season, from even last year's play. They're just getting it done.
There's another one of those wild shots by Megan Light. Light is 0 for 7 from the field. They don't have Light. They're in big trouble.
Well, none of the big people have come up big for them, and they've needed that on the inside. And they didn't play well yesterday. I think that when you look at Light, Light seems as if she's so wired that she can't settle down.
Katie Shirley has really given Joe Logan a boost off the bench. Up to a 15-point lead, and Shirley double digits with 11.
And Loyola's the kind of team that hangs on to a lead. They don't give it back when they have it.
Well, we saw that halftime statistic. And another cupcake miss by Radunsky, but she's fouled on the second attempt. She'll get one. Well, Loyola has been good in transition. Crystal Harrington, with 5 in the ball game, attacked the interior and put it in.
Welcome to Marist College, a liberal arts college bridging the traditions of the past with the tools of the future. Drawing inspiration from the historical, cultural, and artistic heritage of the Hudson River Valley, and supported by a unique partnership with its neighbor, IBM, Marist College holds fast to the timeless values of its rich heritage, while embracing advanced technology in the service of education.
All Loyola here at the Pepsi Arena, 45-32 in our matchup. The 2-seed Canisius, the 3-seed Loyola. Joe Logan has his team out front by 13, completely resurrecting the program. We've seen a lot of that here in the Pepsi tournament. We saw Iona turn it around last year, 9-game improvement. You see the same here for the Hounds, and the Hounds knocking off the defending champs of the MAAC presently. Still a ton of time left. 15 minutes and 5 seconds remaining.
Loyola uses the clock so very well, though. They take the clock down. They don't take bad shots. They move it around.
And Ruffin with one. So Ruffin comes off the bench. Her first shot goes down. And an exhilarated Loyola bench.
And Ruffin averages just 4 points a ball game, makes a nice post move, goes to the right, goes right to the heart of the key, and lays it up, and Steves picks up another foul.
Ruffin season high 10 against Howard, but as you mentioned, as they get another reset, she averages only 11 minutes a game.
Well, she's a big presence on the court, and she'll certainly attract some attention.
Official says stay right here. Canisius called on a illegal push. Terry Zay has to be concerned. His team down by 15 with 5:20 gone in the second half. He's just had a nice year, 14-4 overall in the back, as Canisius bringing in new troops, trying to get the right combination.
Well, Loyola is Shirley, Valderas, and Glessner, all in double digits. And for Canisius, just one player, Zach, with 11. It's not a good sign when your point guard is the only person that's scoring some points. You need some inside points, and they're not getting them today. And Light's going to get called now for pushing Ruffin. So you can see their frustration. You know, Light hasn't been herself in 2 days.
0 for 7 from the field, picking up a poor foul inside.
And an unnecessary foul. You see it here, and she just gives her a little shove.
Another inbound now for the Greyhounds out of Baltimore, Maryland, where the school resides. Nice feed to Ruffin. Lamparski, one of the Canadians on this Canisius team. They like to recruit up to the North Country out of the Buffalo market. Light. And again, it won't go down, but she got sent down. She'll shoot 2.
And she's frustrated, too, Dina. Nothing's gone her way today. She's 0 for 7 from the floor and, you know, has 4 rebounds. And they need a whole lot more than that from her. She leads the team in scoring and hasn't been able to give them anything.
And that's what Ruffin picked up the personal. Ruffin transferred in from Maryland a couple of years ago, sat out on the transfer rule. And Megan Light, season high 29 points against Fairfield earlier this year. And in that game, she made 10 of 17 from the field. Second team all MAAC performer. Finally scores her first point with 14:10 remaining in the second half.
And she has struggled from the floor today. She's 0 for 7. Her points coming from the foul line. And they haven't been good shots, Dean. As we watched her play, she seems to be off balance putting the ball up. I think it's all about her wanting it too much. I think sometimes energy level just takes you right off the scale and doesn't do a good thing for your game.
We've seen spurts of Becky Zach, but then she goes away a little bit, too. They need her leadership at the point. They do come away with the defensive steal.
And I don't expect that you can expect Cavo to come up big for you every game as a freshman.
Light attempt to the reset, but the overplay by Dunn. Looking to finish and one with Becky Zach on a check.
And that has to hurt. That's Zach's second foul, but a three-point play just when you thought that Canisius was chipping away.
And a timeout is called from the bench. Tremendous play by Dunn in the anticipation. She's done it a few times today as her team has jumped out to a 15-point lead. 49-34. 30-second timeout taken. Looks like they'll extend it now. And we'll come back with more MAAC women's semifinal action after this. .45 left here in the second half. Loyola has control throughout this one, currently leading it 49-34. This copyrighted telecast of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the MAAC. Brittany Dunn made a brilliant steal. She finished with the hoop and the foul, and now she'll try and convert. Some of the youngsters here at the Pepsi Arena in attendance. And Dunn has just been stellar on the defensive end today, especially.
Well, she's done a nice job against Lamparski. They've alternated her and Harrington against Zach, so they've got fresh legs against what some people think is one of the strongest point guards in the league.
Well, Granzo rings one up there for Canisius. 50-36 now. The Hounds lead it. Still plenty of time left in this one. Hounds going with Troop out there with Harrington and Shirley along with Dunn and Glessner. And Dunn has now scored their last 5.
And everybody's getting into the scoring act for Loyola.
Dunn on the year, averaging 9.2 a game. We talked about the tremendous balance that we had seen all year from Loyola. There's Megan Light finally finding it from the field.
That's her first field goal. And again, remember, she's the scorer. She's the 13-point scorer of the game.
She's 1 for 8 in the ball game with 4 points in total.
Loyola just does such a good job. They go from the side, back to the top, back inside. Troop's been quiet today. And yet they've got themselves a 14-point lead.
Becky Zach and company trying to lead the charge back. Hold down low. Troop is called for it on the block. Troop's dad played in the NFL. Played for the Philadelphia Eagles back in the 70s. She's got some good genes going.
Now, how much fun must it be to watch a child play after you've been a professional athlete? I don't think that even a professional game gets you as excited as watching your own child play.
Granzo shuffled. Give it back on the turnover. Back to the Troop story. She was just named MAAC first team all-conference player this past week. Nice to see as a senior. She's moved up during her time as a freshman to the sophomore year where she averaged 10 a game. Junior year, numbers down a little bit. And then this, her senior year, averaging 11.2.
And just a great personality, even, and just gets things done. Today she's not scoring, but she's passing the ball well. She's taken Light and Rendunsky out of their game.
Glessner was about three-quarter turn when she got inside. Another foul against Canisius. 20 fouls called between the two teams in that first half.
And that's Canisius' 8th team foul, and that's the 4th foul called
on Laura Granzo.
On Laura Granzo. So now you've got big people in trouble, and you've got a good foul shooting team getting to the line for at least a 1-and-1. With 12 minutes left in the game, it's sure to be 2 shot fouls.
Loyola in that first half seal, 12 of 16 at the free stripe. Ranzo's taken out with the 4. Cabo's back in. Cabo has hit a couple threes in this ball game. She's got 6. Zach leads them with 11, but hasn't scored in the second half. So with 12:07 left here in the second half, Loyola extends again to 16. The winner of this game awaits championship tilt tomorrow against Marist.
And Light trying to make things happen. She was fortunate that it wasn't a turnover and it was a foul called.
So 11 minutes and 55 seconds remaining second half. All Hounds in Albany.
What are you looking for in a college? Cutting-edge academic programs, a faculty that's second to none, great recreational opportunities and residence halls? How about a college that will provide you with the education you need to become a leader in your profession and in your community? If that's what you're looking for in a college, you'll find it at Canisius. To learn more about Canisius College, call 1-800-843-1517 or visit us on the web at canisius.edu. Canisius College, where leaders are made.
Canisius having a tough time here in the semifinal today. 54-38. Take a look at our inside the play segment.
And I'll tell you what, Joe Logan's called some great plays here. You have a high pick coming from Lauren Troop, but you see that Dunn steps in on the low block opposite ball side, and Harrington has 2 options on that play. She either goes to one block or the other block. Both of them are going to end up with a layup.
And with the dribble penetration, she had the 2 wings wide open, as you mentioned. She elected to go left, and they converted.
And all set up on a Troop pick from the perimeter. So everything's going Loyola's way right now. In the second half, Dean, Loyola is shooting 70%. So they're 7 for 10 from the floor after shooting just 36 in the first half.
Meanwhile, Canisius 5 of 12 from the field in the second half for 42%.
But Canisius throwing the ball away. 19 turnovers to Loyola's 6. Loyola doesn't mishandle the ball.
Very patient. 3 turnovers on Canisius here in the second half. They had 16 in the first half. Megan Light just got her 3rd foul for the Griffs. And Katie Shirley to the line.
And Shirley is having herself a nice day. She has 11 points, 5 rebounds. She's gone to the foul line 7 times, where she's 4 for 8 right now.
Shirley, her season high, 15 points a couple times this year. Entered play today with 609 career rebounds. Playing out her final year, 6'2" product from Easton, Maryland.
And she scores her 13th point, and she's only played about 16 minutes. So she's been a huge lift off the bench.
Jackie Valderas, the 6th player of the year in the MAAC, has replaced Shirley. And with 11 and a half left, Hounds again by 18.
And that's the 20th turnover for Canisius.
They called a deflection at the last second. That would have been, you're right.
Uncharacteristic of a team that really takes ball possession seriously.
Stepping out is Light. And again, the deflection. There's not a lot of air under those balls, passing it down inside.
Well, I'll tell you, that high-low game Canisius has tried to play, Coach Logan has designed a defense that is smothering from the high post. So they've got to make some adjustments, or this game they won't crawl it back in again.
There you see the difference in the turnovers and the points. Scored off the many a miscue by Canisius. Drive inside by Harrington, and they're having their way right now.
Right now, Canisius down by 20 with the way that they're playing. This would be a tough comeback.
Flip up there by Radomski, was backpedaling. Cuts it down to 18 again. But if Loyola stays patient for the remaining 10 minutes plus, it's their game.
Well, that's what they do, too. They use the clock. They're a very smart team. As you watch them, they don't make a lot of mistakes, but they don't waste time either as they play.
Good anticipation that time by Cabo, and then it went off the leg of Troop out of bounds. That's another difference, though. Cavo just hasn't gotten a lot of open looks. And they haven't established any kind of outside game.
Well, Glessner has been defending Cavo, and Glessner is a good athlete and a good defender. So they've put a very good defensive player against a very hot freshman. And Zach, Harrington and Dunn have been all over Zach today. So Zach has had to earn everything she's gotten.
Both teams hot coming in, having won their last 5 in a row. There's Light. That's her patented move. Megan Light scores only her second field goal of the game. Davis out there, Valderez, Glessner, along with Troop.
And Canisius getting into that little 1-2-2 that slides back to a 3-2, challenging Loyola's ability to hit from the outside.
Another reset, Lauren Troop. Even though she's not scoring, she's rebounding.
She does everything that a coach would want you to do. She stays in the game whether she shoots or not. But against the zone, Troop is money because she'll get into that short corner.
It's like a textbook going on right now. The way they're moving the ball around inside and out.
They're using the clock, and they're getting good shots. That didn't fall, but it was a good shot.
But you can look at the clock. They ate up a minute on that possession.
And Loyola's picked up its 8th foul of the half. So both teams now at the foul line can either win it or lose it. And you look at the foul situation, officials have called a lot. You have 4 of Loyola's players with 3. You have Granzo with 4. Radunsky and Light have 3.
It's a subdued Canisius bench, as it should be. Down by 16. High aspirations coming into this ball game. The number 2 seed and the reigning champ of the MAAC.
I do think they miss Whitleave, though. I do think that Whitleave's presence as a senior and her ability to shoot from the outside, you can't take 20 minutes of play out of the game and not be affected by it.
Of course, you talk about Sherry Whitleave out with concussion problems. Scored 26 in the one meeting against Loyola this year. These two teams split the season series. And Harrington on the ball rotation. Beautiful shovel. Setting up Katie Shirley.
Harrington's finding people free at the point, and the most underrated guards in the league might be the Loyola guards. They don't get a lot of ink, they don't get a lot of press, but today they're playing heads-up basketball. Take a look at this shovel pass. And Shirley has finished off. She's having a career day today.
Shirley puts another one in off the window, gets a free one coming her way. She's been to that free throw line many a time. Loyola last year in the MAAC went 9-9. In fact, the last 2 years they went 9-9, improving this year to 13-5 to pick up the number 3 seed as we started here on Thursday.
And Canisius finds itself with 10 fouls, so every time the Loyola team is fouled, they'll get to the foul line for 2 shots.
Last touch by Dunn. Inbound for Canisius in front of the bench. Canisius, 3 straight years they've gotten a bye into the quarterfinals. Struggled against Fairfield yesterday. Won it by 5. Had a good February. They won 7 of 8 games. Their only loss was to Maris. And Radunsky went to the left.
And Loyola will come down against this zone and will milk the clock a little bit. They won't force a thing.
Radunsky matching Zach's 11 for game-high honors for the Golden Grist. Another key is Zach hasn't scored here in the second half. It was sloppy that time. Loyola with the basketball. They got to work so hard for every shot. Harrington reached in that time on the freshman Cabo.
And Cabo, a good foul shooter, will get to the foul line for a 1-and-1. One of the things Loyola doesn't want to do is stop the clock with foul shots. Everything is in their favor right now. They don't want to do it here. You see the reach in. Harrington goes for the steal or goes for the jump ball. Doesn't get it.
Harrington has her 3rd foul. Cabo in her high school career scored 1,149 career points, 321 career steals, 350 career assists. And would you believe a goalie in soccer? 5'9". Obviously, she just likes sports in general.
She's got great hands, though. Take a look at the size of her hands. You can see her that she was a soccer goalie. She could stop the ball with her hand.
Harrington teaming in a backcourt with Dunn. Seal mentioned a brilliant day from both of them. And Lemparski, who leads them in steals, taps that one out of bounds. We head to break. 7 minutes and 58 seconds left. Loyola leads by 13.
I know most of you just graduated high school last year, or maybe you've been working for a while, seen some things, done some things, but nothing has prepared you for what's going to happen now. We're going to set goals for each of you. Way up here, way up here, and then we're going to help you exceed them. Believe it. And when finished, you're going to have not just a degree, you'll be a different person, a better person. Welcome to Iona.
Aspire, achieve. Iona. Call Iona College at 1-800-231-IONA.
At St. Peter's College, success is a team effort. St. Peter's College, education one student at a time.
Thanks for joining us today. Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference semifinal play. And there you see some foul problems. Loyola now starting getting in some problems. They've got 5 with the trio.
Yeah, they don't want to find themselves with one of their guards sitting on the bench because they're not guard deep to begin with. You know, Canisius yesterday did not lead until 1:50 in the second half. So, you know, they've got the ability to come back.
Shirley getting everything to roll today. Katie Shirley. Good to see her coming back strong off the double knee operation. 6 of 8 from the field, 16 in total. There's the 3 ball by Cavo. Well, Cavo's making 60%, but she's only taken 5 shots in total.
She has 13 points now, and Zach's a double digit with 11, and Radunsky's 11. The player that's been silent is Light. She hasn't scored her usual 13 points. She's just a 4 for the ball game.
And where's Becky Zach when you need her? Still no points in the second half. There she is on a defensive play.
Doesn't take many shots. She's just 3 for 6. But she gets at the foul line and she scores.
They've been very stubborn about trying to get that ball down low throughout the afternoon. That one's swatted away.
And Loyola's did a good job recognizing that they had to defend the high-low a little differently, perhaps, than Canisius has seen the last time they played.
Crowd almost made that foul call. They were trying to run out of the stack off the inbound. And both teams now over the double bonus. It'll be a 2-shot situation.
Well, Canisius is on a 10-3 run, or actually a 10-5 run. So they've cut the lead a little bit, and if they can get it down to single digits, this could be anybody's ball game with 5 or less to go.
So Amanda Cavo will shoot a couple. Last 5 years in the MAAC, Canisius 59-32, a winning mark of 65% as Glessner picked up her 4th foul. A great winning program. Terry Zane's second year. Took them to the championship a year ago. So you glance up. What was 18 is down to 10 now. Loyola with 6:55 looking for an answer.
And this zone has created some problems for Loyola.
Harrington has been good off penetration today. And Shirley got another rebound and a reset.
And Shirley is just having a great game. She has 6 rebounds, 16 points. She's only played 18 minutes. She's 5 for 7 from the floor.
And Troop was trying to cut through and interfered with Cavo. That's an offensive foul.
And Cavo's got a big old smile on her face. You know, this zone has shifted so well. This little 1-2-2 where Zach will give the look to Harrington. She goes to the foul line. They're all over it. They're giving the outside shot. They're giving you the 17-footer. You try to make a pass inside. You got a little double team coming.
Soft toss there for Cavo. That would have cut it under double digits. Lambarski was trying to call for timeout. As she carried the ball out of bounds with her. And the official disagrees.
Loyola has no shots from the outside three-point field goals for the game. Their only attempt was when Harrington was fouled, and she made all 3 foul shots in the first half. So this switch to the zone has put Canisius right back into the hunt.
They shoot only 27.7% outside the arc. That's been scouted, obviously. And their game has been inside today.
How about the freshman Cavo's numbers, though? 3 points in the first half, 12 in the second.
Another steal by Canisius. There they go to Light. Muscles her way in.
Well, if Light lights up on the inside and Cavo hits the outside, then this 8-point swing could swing in another direction.
You just saw Lauren Troop back off because she has 4 fouls. That's Troop now with it for the answer. Timeout, Loyola.
And Troop is the answer in the zone. They just haven't found her around the perimeter.
So Joe Logan sees his team stem the tide, get the big jumper by the senior Troop.
And Troop just finds the seam on the offense. She goes to the corner that can't be defended. She steps up, and this is what she does well. She does it on the baseline, and she does it on the perimeter facing the basket. Now, against a player-to-player, she just had 2 points. Now she picks up her 4th point of the ballgame. She's only 1 for 8. Watch for her to heat up against the zone.
Deciding factor in this ballgame will be foul problems. 5 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. There you see Glessner and Troop each with the 4. Granzo and Light each with the 4 for the Griffs.
Not just fouls problems, but these kids, this Loyola team especially, played a whole lot of minutes in its win against Manhattan. They didn't put Manhattan away until about 6 minutes left in the game, and Canisius certainly didn't put Fairfield away until 2 minutes left in the game. So fatigue could be a factor down the stretch.
Lambarski picked up defensively by Glessner. Light stepping out for the 3.
And all of a sudden, Megan Light has found her game.
And just like that, you're right, 11 points after being scoreless in the first half.
Loyola can't find the seams of the zone and is forced to use a lot of time to their advantage, obviously, because they've the lead.
Harrington leaving it there for Glessner. They attack the baseline. Shirley last to touch it.
And that's the shot that Lauren Troop has made all season long. It's the shot that put her on the MAAC all-conference team. She needs to make it today if Loyola's to advance.
Parise working that sideline. He knows his team is in a desperate situation. But they've whittled an 18-point deficit down to 7. It's manageable now.
Loyola held a double-digit lead for 11.5 minutes of this second half.
There's the high-low game. And Troop went down, and she's hurt as they tied the ball up.
Troop struggling to get up. Looks like she twisted her ankle. No, she's going to the bench. She can hardly stand and walk herself. This is a big loss for Loyola if Troop can't shake this off.
And Loyola got the timeout in the mad ball scramble. So they have just 2 remaining to avoid the alternate possession where they would have lost the basketball. They get the timeout. And Troop again came down when she was trying to defend the play in the post. I believe you're right. Looked like a right angle injury.
She just came down on it. She's trying to walk it off, but it looked, and you can see her on the baseline as we look. She's trying to walk it off, but she's hobbling. Every time she tries to put majority of her weight on it, her knee collapses, and this is a big loss for Loyola, whether they advance or they hang on to win this game.
And being talked to by the trainer, she continues to try to walk it off, and it's an inbound here for the Hounds.
Well, Loyola has 2 timeouts. Canisius has 3. Loyola with a 7-point lead, and both teams 10+ at the foul line. So it's even out time now.
Valderez Glessner, Shirley out there with Dunn and Harrington. Flash by Valderez. Back tap. Saved by Harrington, and that will take some more off the clock. It's almost like they're in the 12th round and they're just trying to hang on.
They're just trying to hang on right now. They want to use the clock. You know, they get a reset. They get a reset here. They'll go to a 24 and then they get it back down again.
7-point Loyola lead has dwindled. Back to play. Loyola basketball. Glessner beating the shot clock with 1 second remaining. She got it up top. At the 3-minute mark, it's a 9-point Hound lead. Cabo with the deep range. And the follow there by Megan Light, 13 second-half points.
Well, I'll tell you, Dean, at the 10-minute mark of the second half, Canisius found itself down by 20 points. They've gone on a 22-9 run and find themselves down by 7 with 2:30 left in the ball game. What a comeback.
And the Hounds haven't done a good job against this Canisius zone.
And now with Lauren Troop out in the side with an ankle injury, they have to find a shooter.
Glessner. And another clear by Megan Light. She's brought her A game here in the second half.
She sure has. Different person now. She's settled down. It's been Canisius and Marist in the last 2 championship games, and you know Canisius wants to find itself there again.
Big rebound there by Valderez.
And all Loyola has to do is use the clock.
And they will have to go to the automatic fouls now. Both teams over the double bonus limit. Concerned Joe Logan.
Well, Harrington is the player to follow. She shoots just 50% from the floor. Troop, although they've put an ankle support on her ankle, doesn't look as if she's coming back in the ball game.
That one curls out by Harrington. There you see the feet and the legs of Lauren Troop. She sure doesn't want to end today being a senior and not being able to participate in the final few minutes of this one.
Well, Canisius needs a score here, and they need to keep the ball in Dunn's hands and out of Harrington's hands if Canisius is going to do the automatic foul.
And then the foul on Megan Light. And for Light, that's her 5th.
And that's a big loss because Light was lighting it up in this second half. You see Light in the second half. She struggled in the first, but she was on fire in the second, taking it to the basket the way we know she can, going to the inside. Again, strong moves, pounding it up. She's a strong kid and is used to scoring in the inside, but she steps out uncharacteristically and knocks down that 3. She's brought him back, and now she's picked up her 5th foul. She rebounds, she does it all. 13 points in the second half, 5 for 8, and 5 rebounds, all coming in the second half. So not a bad game, just a bad start.
So the free throws will be taken here by the Greyhounds. Terry Zay with 97 ticks left on the clock, and he'll try to milk every one of those. And now it's up to Loyola to finish this one at the free throw line.
And she can, if she scores this, she can make it a 4-possession game. Makes it difficult with a team like Loyola who uses so much of the clock. Look to have Dunn handle the ball all the way up, Dean. Harrington isn't going to touch it for the remainder of the game. Not if Canisius is into fouling.
Dunn is a perfect 5 for 5 at the line, back up to a 10-point lead. Then they try to go inside. Franzo retrieves. Stepping out, Radunsky. And Leparski got tangled up, called for the steps. They couldn't get it into the shooter's hands. Cavo, she was being guarded too tightly.
And Canisius used a lot of time on that possession.
And Parsky called for her 4th foul deep in the backcourt.
And Coach Zay is upset at the officiating crew, but I think it's more that he's upset about his team's play in the first half, because in the second half, or actually, Dean, the last 10 minutes of the second half, they've showed why they've had the season that they've had.
Down by 20. Canisius cut it to 7. Harrington misses on that one. Her aunt, Donna Harrington, played in the WNBA for Detroit and Indiana. Left-hander, was senior. And still keeps the hopes alive for Canisius. Cabo put it in.
Kid's money in the bank. Kid is money in the bank. Rookie of the year. Had a great day yesterday, stepping up, doing all the same things.
Cabo was hot coming off a career-high 28-point performance against their Western New York counterpart, Niagara, last Sunday, and then had the 21 there yesterday, and we want to keep it in her hands.
You know, and what I like most about it, she can use her left hand off the screen, go up, transfer the ball to her right hand, and knock it down.
Beautiful pick set that time by Zach, who brought the ball up and set up Cabo. But again, a tough shot going right to left.
Absolutely, and she's made a bundle of them today. I mean, when your money player right now is a freshman, you know, she has 18 points for the game. She's 4 for 9 from the floor. From the foul line, she's 6 for 6. Those are numbers you can't dispute.
The last 2 games shooting 55% on threes. There's Harrington looking to inbound, and they steal it. Radunsky fell over in the process. And it was tapped out of bounds. Radunsky still down on the floor here at the Pepsi Arena. And here comes Lemparski back in. Katie Thorner will leave. And it will be Canisius basketball. 57.3 left, down by 7.
Well, they hit a shot here, Dean, and it's anybody's ball game. If Harrington gets to the foul line, she's not been able to score.
And Zach with the left hand. Still scoreless in the second half. Then the foul on Becky Zach. Lesnar was doing a great job that time guarding Cabo. And today's Pepsi player of the game, Katie Shirley of Loyola, coming off the bench. Boy, did she give them a lift in that first half.
Well, she did it at rebounding. She did it scoring. She's played such good defense. And when she gets to the foul line, she just doesn't miss. She puts it up. She's strong. She's solid. She's given the lift they need today. What a great story, though. Out with an injury, comes back today, 18 points, 6 for 8 for the foul line, 7 rebounds, about to take her team.
And used to be a star in this league and relegated to a role player assignment, has accepted it, and now it's got a chance to get her team to the championship round. Lemparski, you would think they need to shoot the 3 now.
And they can't waste any time with 43 seconds left. You know, it's 2 possessions if it's threes. It's 3 possessions if it's not. So they really have to do something quick.
Mare Mullins puts her first shot up in the ball game. And then the foul.
And Dunn's fouled right away. Dunn a good foul shooter, though, and she's stepped up in this stretch and put him away.
They'll take the long walk down. And Parsky, I believe, was whistled on that one. And that should be her 5th. So they have lost a couple players today.
Well, they were forced to foul down the stretch to get back in the game. They had to play a little while to get back in the game as well, Dean. So the foul situation doesn't really present very much of it.
Coming up tonight, second round of the men's game, St. Peter's and Siena. Scheduled to tip off around 5 o'clock. That's on the MSG network. And then on Fox Sports, Niagara, Iona, 7:30. And then the late one, Canisius and Marist at 10 o'clock.
Well, Dunn can just put this away with these 2 shots. Then time really in Loyola's favor.
Dunn makes that one. 72% accuracy on the year, majoring in communications, minor in sociology, a junior from Centreville, Virginia. Two big makes by Brittany Dunn.
And Loyola just has to sit back and be sure it doesn't foul right now.
Zach tries to draw it and one. So the first basket of the second half by Becky Zach, and she'll get rewarded with a free throw.
And with a chance for a three-point play. So you send an extraordinarily gifted foul shooter, 83%, to the line.
Crystal Harrington just picked up her fourth foul.
This Canisius team just won't go away. They just keep hanging around. They've not played well, but they've played well enough to make it a game.
They're showing the heart of the champion that we thought was missing during the first 35 minutes of this ball game. The defending champs of the MAAC. Here's the baseball pass. And Dunn had clear sailing but pulls it out.
Knows the clock is her friend right now.
It was a wise move. She'll shoot two. So he'll kill a few more seconds off with 23 ticks left. Coming up tomorrow, well, we've already advanced Loyola. They'll be taking on Marist for the championship. Third consecutive appearance for the Red Foxes. First time for Loyola there in a long time. Loyola's just happy to get a winning record, as last year they went 10-18, garnering their 20th win here in the final 23 seconds if they can hold on. Those two teams split the regular season series. In fact, the last time Marist lost was at Loyola a couple weeks ago by the count of 62-59.
And while they were at Marist, they played a great game. They only lost by 9, 65-56. And you know how tough it is to play at Marist's home court.
Yes, I do. Here's Mullins. And another rebound by Shirley, and another foul by the Griffs with 11.8 left.
And Shirley can up today's totals to 20 points, and deservedly so. She has played one wheel of a ball game.
That's a happy Greyhound bench right now. Looking to advance to the championship game tomorrow here at noon on the MAAC television network. Katie Shirley, her season high previous to today, 15 points. It's not like she's a young rookie out there. 1,061 career points entering play today, 13th all time in the history of the program.
Well, she was injured, and you know, she came back from 2 serious knee operations to get herself back in a situation where she can contribute to her team. You see how disappointed the Canisius bench is. They wanted so badly to return to the championship game. They've been there. They know what it means to Zach. Zach's been their leader for 4 years. She's a starting point guard for Canisius for 4 years. She won't get the chance to return.
There have been 6 different champions in the last 6 years of MAAC women's college basketball. Could Loyola be the 7th tomorrow? We'll be taking on Marist. Here's Zach in a final 8 for Cavo. Another rebound to Glessner. Looks like Canisius backs off, and it will be a win for the Greyhounds of Loyola, garnering their 20th, but more importantly, they advance to tomorrow's MAAC championship game as they win it here in Albany, 76-66. They led by 20. The lead sliced to 7, but they withstood, hit some key free throws, some big buckets, and they go home the winner against the defending champs of the MAAC, the Golden Griffs of Canisius. There's Joe Logan in his first year. Not bad for a first-year head coach, as he garners the win for his team. Cecilia, your final thoughts on this one?
I thought that Joe Logan's staff prepared beautifully against Canisius, and Canisius just came out flat to start the game. And Loyola had a 20-point lead, and with that 20-point lead, Canisius couldn't find his way home.
So for Cecilia DeMarco and our entire MAAC television crew, I'm Dean Darling saying thanks for joining us. Final score, Loyola 76, Marist 66. We'll be back for the championship game at noon tomorrow.